to Daily Pulse, where we keep your finger on the pulse of the latest breaking news and the news they're keeping from you. A quick reminder to head on over to Rumble to watch our full show. If you're not subscribed to our channel yet, do so right now to catch our no holds barred reporting brought to you by the Vigilant Fox and Zeee Media. Tonight, a weaponized tick epidemic is spreading across America and seemingly to other countries. American farmers are sounding the alarm after Trump's recent commitments to China, and young people across the world are completely rejecting AI. Let's get into the Daily Pulse. People all across America are reporting an infestation of ticks, an epidemic, if you will. There is footage that's turning up and circulating across social media of animals, and we're not going to air that for you today, but we will describe it. Animals like deer and elk that aren't surviving the amount of ticks that are covering them, snakes dying because they're being seemingly killed by these ticks. A woman who has horses and has had horses for the past 30 years saying she no longer knows what to do to deal with this tick infestation that keeps plaguing her animals. On top of that, we're seeing footage of farmers having ticks dropped onto their properties.
I'm out here mushroom hunting and I found, there it is right there, the tick box. I'm not going to touch it because there's ticks all over that thing. I know there is. Look at them crawling out of it. Millions of them. You can see the tick.
And we also have this creepy video emerging from the USA this week. People are saying that this is actually genetically modified or weaponized ticks that are being dropped from the sky onto farms in boxes. And we've seen, we showed you one of the videos of the documentation of a person finding this on their farm. Take a look at this stunning footage.
Right.
Weird stuff.
Now, we don't know for certain what it is that's falling out of the sky, but we know what people are reporting that they're finding, perhaps after seeing these things falling out of the sky and recording and documenting for everyone to see, these tick boxes, as we showed you in that first video. And we also know for certain that Bill Gates and the WEF are part of this story. And we also know for certain that no one in a position of health authority is saying a word about it or even bothering to do anything about it. And you can see here, Bill Gates funded research into genetically engineered cattle ticks. Now 450,000 Americans have red meat allergies from alpha-gal syndrome caused by tick bites. We also know that the World Economic Forum previously bragged about being able to make people allergic to meat through the use of ticks so that they can save the planet. Take a listen.
People eat too much meat, right? And if they were to cut down on their consumption on meat, then they would, it would actually really help the planet. But people are not willing to give up meat. Possibly we can use human engineering to make it the case that we're intolerant to certain kinds of meat. There's this thing called the Lone Star tick, where if it bites you, you'll become allergic to meat. I can sort of describe the mechanism. So that's something that we can do through human engineering.
Guide suddenly highlights here that a peer-reviewed paper from 2 medical school professors literally argues that it's quote-unquote morally good to genetically engineer ticks to spread a disease that makes people permanently allergic to red meat. Not joking, the paper says scientists should enhance Lone Star ticks and spread them into more populated areas so more people develop alpha-gal syndrome, a condition that causes severe allergic reactions and has no cure. And we found this question from the red-headed libertarian, a pretty good one. CP24 says a wave of ticks is headed for Ontario. Here's what one scientist says you can do to protect yourself. And the red-headed libertarian asks, How do they know where the ticks are headed? So we thought, gee, that's actually a really good question. How do they know? It says that a wave of ticks is headed for Ontario, and this is what you can do to protect yourself this summer. And basically they're saying in here that it's because a warmer weather is arriving in Ontario and a rush of ticks is going to come from the United States. And why is this happening? Well, this is because of climate change, everyone. Climate change is what's causing this. Okay, so that's how you know this entire narrative is a farce. We ask yourself, how do they know? Well, they're monitoring the patterns of these ticks, and the scientists say, okay, we're seeing where they're going and their migration patterns and so on and so forth because climate change. As we've said many times on this broadcast, the climate change narrative actually hasn't gone anywhere. It's still there in the background, but it's just not being used to cut off your electricity anymore because they need data centers. And, you know, we've explained this in great detail. Nonetheless, this is how this proves to you that this is a nonsense reason for the fact that these ticks are spreading. And we suppose that climate change is also the reason why these super ticks are actually chasing after people, as reported by a Russian biologist. Take a look at this crazy footage.
A Russian biologist is now reporting a surge of aggressive ticks that, as you can see by the video, have a tendency to chase their victims. Yes, chase. The video you're seeing is believed to be of a tick called the hyaloma, which according to biologist Dmitry Savanov is not only resistant to hunger, extreme weather conditions, and aerosol sprays, but also is not native to Russian territory, but rather Africa and Asia. He suggested they could have been brought to Russia through migratory birds. But what he said in an interview about these ticks is the stuff of nightmares. These are real hunters. If our ticks near Moscow are partisan who sit quietly in the grass and wait for you to pass by, then the hyaloma behaves aggressively. They see the victim and run after them.
So that's terrifying, and it suggests that this isn't only happening in the US. I'm not sure that we've seen these aggressive mutant ticks videos out here yet, but this video from Russia appears to be real. We tried to fact check this story and it appears to check out. Here you have a Russian outlet saying that a biologist has reported an invasion of dangerous mutant ticks in southern Russia. So the video that we just watched, the gentleman was actually citing from this article. And it does say here that Safanov, which is the biologist, mentioned these facts in an interview with AIF.ru. So we clicked on that as well, and we found that this was a real interview that occurred. Deadly dangerous in the south of Russia, recorded the invasion of tick mutants. So yeah. Now we have to worry about aggressive mutant ticks chasing us through the grass, as if to say, we are going to destroy all rural farmland with data centers and mutant ticks, and also you don't get to eat any animal products moving forward because now you get alpha-gal syndrome, which is what's happening to people. And just in case people don't think Bill Gates is involved in this, it's widely documented that the Gates Foundation funds research to quote-unquote control cattle ticks through biotechnology. So could we simplify this and say that Bill Gates has worked on mutant ticks? Absolutely. Are they doing what is described in that particular video by that biologist? We don't know, but it just so happens that every time there's some sort of a plague on humanity, Bill Gates and his foundation are involved. So what is alpha-gal syndrome? Well, you are literally seeing people breaking out in hives, experiencing the worst kinds of symptoms from simply trying to consume animal products. Yes, it does make them allergic to meat. Here is one American who is documenting his plight. And my post on this says, so is RFK Jr. going to make a statement and take action against this weaponized tick plague making people allergic to meat anytime soon? Or is Bill Gates just going to come for another dinner at the White House, which, you know, is a common thing apparently? Take a listen to this gentleman.
My question I ask you is what fucking surface, what purpose do ticks have? Look at my face and my neck. I can't eat red meat anymore. I can't have any animal byproducts in anything. And it's in everything. This is alpha-gal syndrome. This is fucked up, man. Ticks. I love to go hiking. This is fucking crazy.
The horror that people are experiencing from this. And someone in my comments said, my sister-in-law has been afflicted with this. Not only can she not eat beef, but cannot eat any dairy. And I said, I'm so sorry to hear this. None of this should be happening. And of course, it shouldn't be happening. And what I will note again is that we can't find a single statement from RFK Jr., who's the HHS secretary, on this recent phenomenon of people reporting these ticks being dropped onto their land, of Americans reporting alpha-gal syndrome following tick bites. He's spoken in the past about ticks and Lyme disease, but nothing on this particular issue. And what we would expect to see is actually a national response. Like if we had a health agency functioning as it should, there should be a national response. There should be immediate investigations into who's dropping these tick boxes, apparently from the sky, or at bare minimum, people are finding them on their land, and what's going to be done about it. And also, are we actually going to look into investigate people that may have weaponized ticks against people to cause alpha-gal, which conspicuously lines up with what the WEF said they were going to do, and prosecute these people, investigate and prosecute anyone who's conducted research like this that may be causing people to not be able to consume any animal products at all. But from what we could find, not a single peep from anyone in power or authority on this issue. Now, I shared this video of a land surveyor recommending protecting yourself from ticks using sulfur dust. So people in the comments are saying a lot of essential oils also work well. Oregano oil works best, but it's more expensive. And what I would say about all of these tips and home remedies and things of this nature is it's definitely worthwhile looking into it, making sure that these suggestions are safe for us, and conducting our own research into this. I'm simply sharing it to let people know that there are people out there who are giving us tips, but again, not a peep from the authorities. And furthermore, what's concerning about this is that the Russian biologist is saying they are not responding to traditional methods. These mutant ticks are not responding to traditional methods of actually getting rid of ticks. It seems like they are resistant to a lot of these things, which would make sense if we are indeed dealing with a weaponized tick epidemic. So we'll keep you updated on this. We'll let you know what further research is being done into this, but suffice to say, this should not be happening. We should not be dealing with livestock and humans and, being affected by this and a plague of ticks with the only reason being given to us as climate change, which we all know is not true. We need real answers to this, and we need real ways to deal with this. So we'll keep you updated on all of that. If the biggest banks and institutions are going hard after Bitcoin exposure, actively launching products and positioning for the future, why wouldn't you take the same bet they do? Let's look at the facts. Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs are in. Corporate treasuries are stacking, and the forces driving people to crypto, institutional adoption, inflation, and declining trust in the system, aren't slowing down. If you're interested in Bitcoin but not sure where to start, BlockTrust IRA makes that first step simple. Their crypto experts walk you through your goals, review what you have, and handle the complexity so that you don't have to. BlockTrust IRA is powered by Animus Technologies, an AI trading system featured as Bitcoin Magazine's #1 crypto technology platform and winner of their 2023 trading competition. They've stripped away the usual friction, no setup fees and no monthly fees, and just 0.14% trading fees, so more of what you earn stays invested. The team brings 30 plus years of combined experience and has already processed over $300 million in IRA transactions, backed by up to $200 million in custody insurance, multi-key security, and fully offline storage. Their AI Bitcoin Alpha strategy has delivered 657% versus 400% for buy and hold, showing what's possible with a data-driven approach. It's simple to set up, secure, and built to help maximize your retirement with the tax advantages of an IRA. To learn more and take the first step, go to dailypulsecrypto.com. That's dailypulsecrypto.com. One of the talking points of the new MAGA, which really doesn't resemble the old school MAGA, is this threat of China. And by the way, it is absolutely something that should be considered. The fact that China is buying up a whole bunch of US farmland, the fact that we keep getting told that if China beats the US in the AI race, it's going to be disastrous, and all of these sorts of talking points. The problem that we have is that the actions in response to these new MAGA talking points don't really match with the threat that we're being presented with. For example, oh, we have to beat China in the AI race, but you're looking at a few hundred data centers versus thousands, plus the president meeting with Zeee recently and telling him how excited they are to work together in the future, particularly when it comes to AI and all of these sorts of things. And so it is very, very concerning when we are being told this is a threat, this is an existential threat, this is why you need an AI surveillance state because of this threat of China, who's our enemy. And then we have the US continuing to work very, very much in a positive way with China. And that's exactly what's happening when it comes to US farmland. Now, farmers are sounding the alarm as to why this is a really, really bad idea. Now, for a bit of context here, this is President Trump's recent interview with Sean Hannity. It was his first interview since his initial meeting with President Xi. And Sean Hannity is asking him about the amount of farmland being bought up, particularly near military installations. And here's President Trump's response. Take a listen.
I would assume I'm in Beijing. If I wanted to buy property near one of their military installations, I don't think President Xi...
No, they wouldn't let you. I don't... Look, it's not that I love it. You want to see farm prices drop? You want to see farmers lose a lot of money? Just take that out of the market. But they've had a lot of land for a long time. Obama did nothing about it. They bought a lot of it during the Obama administration. He did nothing about it.
So because Obama did nothing about it, I'm also going to do nothing about it. In fact, I'm going to let them continue buying up this farmland. But remember, Obama did nothing about it. It's classic political deflection. Why are you doing this? Oh, well, didn't you see what the other guy did? Yeah, but the other guy's not the one in power anymore. That's really irrelevant. And of course, Sean Hannity lets him say that and doesn't challenge him whatsoever, which is standard with the mainstream media. But here is a very important segment that recently aired on Fox News. And it's from farmers sounding the alarm after President Trump said that he will continue allowing China to buy American farmland. We're a stronger nation when we continue to have our own production and our own stewardship of ground that's owned by domestic farmers. Food security is national security, which, by the way, that's why we did that executive order for glyphosate, right? Because that's national security. America's farmers are some of the most productive and efficient in the nation. Take a listen.
So America's farmers are some of the most productive and efficient in the nation, and that's done when American farmers own the ground that they grow food on. Mm-hmm. And so I think that we're a stronger nation when we continue to have our own production and our own stewardship of ground that's owned by domestic farmers.
What about you, Sky? Does China buying up ranch land near you concern you?
Well, I don't see it here personally, but it does concern me. But it's already been alluded to. Food security is national security. Obviously, we want to own our own land base, so we'll let the administration and the lawmakers tackle that one as they see fit. In the meantime, we'll continue to grow quality beef for the American consumers.
Now, I don't know that man, but that attitude, in my opinion, is specifically the problem that we face across every single nation. Oh, we'll let the government work it out. The government's telling you plain and simple, we're going to keep doing this, and more ranchers are not going to own their own farms. We're going to let countries that are our enemies, or so we're told, buy up our food supply. This is really, really serious. Something else the Trump administration is doing, they are quietly greenlighting the use of cyanide bombs on public lands. This practice was actually banned since 2023, but now the Bureau of Land Management, or BLM, will be allowed to use it on a case-by-case basis. So here's the background of this story. For decades, the Bureau of Land Management, or BLM, used so-called cyanide bombs to control predator populations on public lands. The controversial tactic was banned in 2023, but the Trump admin has quietly approved its reuse. An April memorandum signed by the BLM and the Agriculture Department's Wildlife Services Program, published by advocacy group Predator Defense, shows that the BLM has effectively repealed the ban on the deployment of M44s, spring-loaded poison traps that spray sodium cyanide powder when triggered. M44s are indiscriminate killers and cannot be used safely, Predator Defense wrote in a statement. They're meant to kill coyotes, which any true conservation biologist can tell you is an exercise in futility, but they also kill endangered species, essential native predators, and countless beloved dogs, none of which can read warning signs. They've also poisoned countless people. It's only a matter of time until one kills a child. And there was a very, very terrifying incident. Opposition reached a fever pitch in 2017 when a 14-year-old boy and his dog were accidentally sprayed by an M44 in the hills behind their Idaho home. The boy survived, but the dog collapsed and died at the scene. The incident led to restrictions or bans on M44 use in Idaho, Colorado, and Oregon, though environmental groups petitioned for a nationwide ban. The first Trump admin reauthorized federal use of M44s in 2019, but later reversed that decision due to sustained public outcry. From what we understand about this cyanide bomb story, Trump and his administration have repeatedly fought to have these bombs out there that could have killed this 14-year-old boy, certainly killed his dog. Farmland will continue to be owned by the enemy, China, and remaining farmers are going to be on Palantir's database. Oh, and also everyone gets mutant ticks. Does that sum it up about right? What kind of crazy dystopia have we entered into, and when do we think people are going to realize it? Are you protected in a world where threats of EMPs, solar flares, 5G, and all types of EMF are interfering with our very existence? Escape the grid with Escape Zone, bringing you the highest quality Faraday technology for ultimate preparedness. Choose when and where your devices are detectable. Faraday bags protect you from EMPs, car theft, card and device skimming, identity theft, tracking, Bluetooth, and GPS. Choose from premium mobile Faraday bags, crossbody bags, laptop bags, and even women's handbags, or opt for the optimum protection with a ballistic backpack, combining cutting-edge Faraday technology with a ballistic 3A Kevlar for the ultimate protection and preparedness. Now you can also protect from EMF with their top-notch EMF beanies and blankets, shielding you from some of the most harmful frequencies in our environment. Whatever your needs are, Escape Zone has you covered, and their range is perfect for personal use, family use, or even as a gift for someone you truly care about. Visit escapezone.com/pulse and protect you and your loved ones today. That's escapezone.com/pulse. Something that is very encouraging to us is the amount of young people completely rejecting the AI revolution. In recent weeks, we've seen footage emerging out of colleges and universities with completely out-of-touch people taking the stage, giving their little presentations, getting the youth riled up about the new industrial revolution, AI, yeah, woo! And being met with a room full of boos. On May 8th, 2026, during a commencement ceremony for UCF's College of Arts and Humanities and Nicholson School of Communication and Media, Speaker Gloria Caulfield, who is a real estate executive, praised AI as the next industrial revolution. The crowd of graduating students responded with, well, we'll let you hear them for yourself.
We are living in a time of profound change. That's an understatement, right? Profound change. Change is exciting, very exciting, and let's face it, change can be daunting. The rise of artificial intelligence is the next industrial revolution. finish? Only a few years ago, AI was not a factor in our lives. Okay. All right. Okay. We've got a bipolar topic here, I see. Okay. And now, AI capabilities are in the palm of our hands. And oh, I love it. Passion, let's go. Okay.
So naturally, anyone watching that was cringing inside. Great. I love it. Let me tell you why this is great again. Boo. Okay, with her wobbly voice, unsure as to why the young people who are being promised no jobs in the future following that expensive college degree they've paid for wouldn't be so excited. It's really amazing to witness people who seemingly have no real grasp on reality until it's too late. That's a real estate executive, by the way. Yeah, her industry's going too. But in case you think this is an isolated incident, Eric Schmidt, the billionaire ex-CEO of Google, just delivered a commencement speech at the University of Arizona graduation ceremony on Friday night. During his attempt to champion how AI is going to restructure life as we know it, he was met with the same disapproval. Take a listen.
Last December, Time magazine selected its Person of the Year for 2025. And this time, it was the architects of artificial intelligence. Interesting. It will touch every profession, every classroom, every hospital, every laboratory, every person, and every relationship you have. I know what many of you are feeling about that. I can hear you. There is a fear. We do not know the precise contours of what this transformation will look like. Choose a diversity of perspectives, including, let me add, and if you'd let me make this point, please. If you don't care about science, that's okay, because AI is going to touch everything else as well. Whatever path you choose, AI will become part of how work is done. If you have a problem in the world you want to solve, you can now assemble a team of AI agents to help you with the parts that you could never accomplish on your own. Let me give you some advice. First, find a way to say yes.
Young people are rejecting Time magazine, or at a bare minimum, rejecting the people Time magazine choose to praise. This is the future generation saying, actually, we hate this. We hate what you're saying. We hate everything about it. And the hubris of Schmidt claiming he knows how these young people feel and telling them you're just feeling fear, actually. How dare you? They aren't afraid. They're angry. They're angry that some self-absorbed billionaire that made his fortune betraying their privacy and potentially totally misusing their data is now telling them that he has some advice for them. And that advice is, find a way to say yes, his words, to relinquish all your future prospects to our digital dystopia, okay? This isn't boomers worried about losing their sewing jobs. This is the future generation saying, we know this tech is going to hinder our future and actually give us less prospects. This is not like former industrial revolutions. It is actually not going to create more opportunity, or at least not opportunities that keep us human and connected to reality. Whilst in previous times, innovations like the production line, robotics, and automation did cost jobs, it also streamlined processes, and one could argue was a net positive on society. But what we're talking about here with this so-called AI revolution through countless resource-hungry data centers is a different beast altogether. It's not costing some jobs through streamlining systems and processes. This is the decimation of countless numbers of jobs and entire fields. Accountants, lawyers, paralegals, potentially the entire judicial system, some aspects of law enforcement, artists, fashion designers, film creators, musicians, engineers, tax agents, finance experts, administrative assistants, clerks, authors, journalists, customer service agents, doctors, nurses, teachers, cashiers and real estate associates, servers and kitchen hands replaced by robots, bank tellers, postal clerks, bankers, and the list goes on and on and on. I'll tell you though, what's refreshing is that the kids, the future generation, seem to be well aware, and that gives us hope. History shows a consistent pattern. When money can be created without limits, or when companies issue more shares and dilute ownership, purchasing power almost always goes one way, down. That's the system most people are in today, and it's why many families are turning to gold and silver, assets with limited supply that have historically held their value. The question most Americans have is how to transition away from declining dollars. And that's where Genesis Gold Group comes in. They've helped thousands of families move a portion of their savings into physical gold and silver through structured strategies, including converting existing retirement accounts like IRAs and 401ks into precious metal IRAs. Rated 4.7 out of 5 stars by faithful investors, Genesis Gold offers a straightforward, personalized process designed to align with each individual's long-term financial goals. Right now, they're offering a free wealth protection guide that walks you through gold and silver investing options step by step. You can get it now at dailypulsesilver.com. That's dailypulsesilver.com. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. We really do appreciate everyone that watches our broadcasts and also shares them. Quick reminder that it is really important to share our stuff. We are, of course, subjected to shadow banning and techniques like this. So every time you share this information with your friends, your family, your loved ones, it does help us to get the truth out to more people. Big tech and the powers that be simply don't like factual, truthful reporting, especially not the independent ones that aren't beholden to the powers that be, which we are definitely not. We want to remind you to follow us on Rumble if you're not already. Zeee Media is the channel where you'll find us broadcasting every weeknight at 7 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to support us to be able to continue doing truly independent reporting, the best way to do that is to support our sponsors. All of their links are in the description below. Businesses that truly care about our collective future, and we are proud to partner with them and also give our viewers actual solutions that can help them in the future. So please do visit those links in the description below. You can also subscribe to Rumble Premium, which does help us out as content creators on the platform, and also you get an ad-free experience while supporting free speech. So you'll find that button right under this video. We'll see you tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Good night.